With the sunray trap in his possession, King Elon was still far from creating a jolt, really far. A jolt is made of 3 artifacts, a sunray trap, a converter, and a shield. He had no idea where to get the remaining 2 parts. Back at his boardroom, he was contemplating a way to acquire the best of both artifacts, as there were 10 copies of each. The knowledge on the walls of Keepauk, as vast and detailed as it was, would not show him how to make the best jolt. He needed to find the best converter and the best shield. But where can he find them? There was no map, there was no wizard in some tower who was going to tell him all he needs to know and lead him through all the secret paths. His brother Kale came into the room.
I thought meeting with Mahoon would make you less puzzled, but looking at your face, I believe that is not the case.
I have the new sunray trap, but I need to find the other 2 artifacts.
Why didn't you ask Rubia about them?
Rubia knows about people's lives and secrets. That's not my quest here.
You need to meet the right people, as many of them as possible, in as little time as you can to find your path promptly.
What are you suggesting?
A ball, brother! A ball where all are invited.
That's a brilliant idea. I shall invite all chief makers, wizards, wise ones, and pixies.
Why pixies?
They invented jolts to begin with.
True. I know Bihar, their chief. I will ask her to bring you a prototype.
I have one. I got it when I went to Bilby last time.
No, what Bihar has, no one has in all of Bilby. Trust me.
There is someone else I shall invite as well.
Who?
Celestine of Valencia.
Never heard of her. Who is she?
Well, who I hope she is.
I will not pretend to understand what you just said, but I will wait and see. When will the ball be?
In 2 days. I'm in a rush.
People need some time to prepare. They have other appointments and obligations.
You're right. 3 days it is.
I'm trying to help you. If no one of interest to your quest comes due to this short notice of yours, you might as well not have this ball.
They will come.
Valencia is very far, and ladies need more time to find the right dress, the right earrings, the right...
Sunday. Let it be Sunday. You know me too well.
Let me take care of this.
Well, I shall send out some invitations.
You do that.
King Elon sat down to write a few notes to chief makers, promising them a good time and great business opportunities. He sent out invitations to the chief of Yoda, the chief of Vagan, the general of Modor, and of course, one note to Celestine of Valencia that read,
Madam, the Kingdom of Tesla is celebrating its 5th anniversary of the erection of the stone wall, and I am honored to personally invite you to join us this Sunday for the ball that will be held for the occasion. I'm still touched by your kindness, and consider having the chance to meet you again to introduce myself properly would be an undeserved blessing, although I hear of your generosity, and therefore hope to see you again. Warm regards, best wishes, and appreciation. Elon of Tesla.
The day could not come fast enough for King Elon. He was pining to get answers, all the answers. What is the best converter? Where to find the mightiest shield? What is so special about Bihar's Jolt? Will Celestine come to the ball? Tesla was decorated. The Concordia, Tesla's main palace, was a beauty under the moonlight that Sunday night, and to no surprise, everyone was there. The chief makers, the best wizards, the League of the Wise Ones, few members of the Shore Alliance, even chiefs from lands further away from Tesla came. Noax, Valencia, and Aurelia.
So, what are you up to, King Elon?
Too much to handle as usual. I'll bore you with it once you are satisfied with us as your hosts tonight. Do you care for lobster?
Of course I do. Mind Yoda, he is allergic.
You'll find many of your favorites on the menu, and many of which you've never tried. Dare to venture away from the customs of your taste buds?
I will not do that as long as I shall live, and I intend to live without stomachache.
Well, you only live once.
And I intend to live without stomachache.
You are entitled to your own rules.
The night was what would be expected of a Teslan ball. Guests are welcomed by uniformed valets carrying scented mists of cherry. The guests walk up to the main entrance on a thick carpet, and the Concordia is aglow with lights. After entering the palace, the guests are invited for the welcome cocktail at the Ephrafax room. Inside the room, King Elon and Kale welcome the guests and ensure they are comfortable with an army of helpers. The guests then walk through the see-through room, a masterpiece of light and crystals, and settle for dinner at the Golden Hall. They are entertained by artists and musicians throughout the night. After dinner, the guests hear the sound of a melody called the chiming midnight played by the Concordia's roof bells. The melody is a sign for the men to move to the amber room, where they have to wait for their ladies to come down the glorious stairs one by one. Every lady coming down the stairs will see her gentleman extending his hand to help her down the stairs, and the two would go straight to the dancing floor. Twirling and dancing the night away, the guests leave as they please through the front door, where valets hand them their belongings and offer them a complimentary perfume stored in a miniature glowing firefly-like glass bottle. Some things change from year to year, but there is always light, cherry scent, great meals, and a warm hospitality. And she came! Dear God, she came! Rubio was right! King Elon's smile could be seen all the way to Glaxum. His heart was filled with joy seeing Celestine walking into the Ephrafax room. She was wearing a sparkly blue rose gown and an armlet and a headpiece of white pearls.
I am so happy you've decided to bless us with your presence.
King Elon greeted her with a bow.
I apologize for the other day. I had no idea who you were, and I'm afraid I came to meet peril, as this invitation must be to receive my punishment for my indifference to you.
Absolutely not. To the contrary, I shall not hold you standing much longer. Let me show you to your seat.
At dinner, King Elon, seated at the center table with the chief makers and few master wizards and wise ones, surrounded by a room filled with guests, started talking to Vagan about his plans to make a jolt.
I'm trying to make a human-sized jolt. How do you think I should proceed?
A jolt is not as bright, nor as reliable as a torch, and making it is very hard. I am advising you. I have tried before.
Yes, but there is room for improvement. Good material is available, and as I talked to Master Wizard Mahoon, so is the craft behind its artifacts.
General of Modor just joined the table as he left briefly for the restroom.
Jolts are laughable. They're too small, too breakable, too clumsy, too slow. Their light is dim, and they left people stranded in darkness many times.
You should know that crafting a travel vehicle is not easy.
I know many have failed before.
Then why do you think you will succeed? Do you think you are exceptional in any way?
I think we can do exceptional work indeed.
The voices of the bunch started to become loud, and the guests were all watching the table of the king.
I have no intention to give you a lecture on how to make travel vehicles, because I have no time to waste. But I surely urge you to reconsider before you drown Tesla with poorly thought-out endeavors.
I will not drown Tesla in anything. Thank you for your concern.
Kid, listen to us. You know very little about this business, and you will drown your own kingdom.
That was outrageous of Modor's general, calling a peer king a kid in front of the entire room. King Elon was trying to get a drink out of his way to respond to General of Modor when he accidentally spilled it on Bihar's thighs. He stood and offered her his napkin and ushered one of the palace helpers to assist her. People already started whispering and smirking. Anything close to a humiliation or a tragedy is always welcome as long as it can be something to tell, a story to spread. What will humans do if not to tell stories they were a part of? As King Elon was about to escort Bihar to the interior room, Chief Vagan stood up.
I think I'm going to retire for the night. Needless to say, this was not what I was promised.
What were you promised?
I was promised business and trade opportunities. Instead, I got ramblings and stupid musings that have already failed. This was a disappointment.
Not a complete waste of time. The food was good. I would say it was like going to a nice restaurant, a very far one.
The two chiefs left the Concordia. As the chiming midnight started, the men in the room left for the amber room. King escorted Bihar to the interior room and left her with two of her assistants and headed for the amber room himself. He was still boiling, still upset that he was called a kid with stupid ideas. He could not understand for the life of him why the two chiefs acted the way they did. It was embarrassing and pained him deeply. As the ladies came down the stairs one by one, King Elon was waiting for Celestine to dance. He was so absorbed by the intense conversation with the chief makers that he did not even get to lock eyes with her the entire night, not even once. The waiting stopped as the chiming midnight stopped. Celestine did not come down those stairs. He went back to the Golden Hall. It was empty. The music for the ball begun, and the guests started dancing merrily. Few were lovers looking into each other's eyes. Few were still talking about earlier while dancing, and some decided to leave immediately after dinner. King Elon stood on top of the stairs, watching the dance.